You can't make this shit up. I mean, that's one of the weirdest things about like going into this game.
It's talk already.
Probably the single strangest thing that I've found from playing H1Z1 is just the fact that people cry so much.
Audio.
Ha! Ha ha!
Oh, okay. Hold on. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome to the Undead Zone Show. This is Space
There we go.
Nicely done.
You got here. We have Laz guys all the way to your left. Then we have.
Sorry guys. Sorry about the audio. Sorry. My bad. My bad.
And then to my name is Space Mexican, as you know, and then to my right is Spanks. Spanks. Everybody knows him in the PvP world.
Who's now yet again fondling his machete on live TV.
Yep, the cops are gonna raid his house right now and take that piece of evidence away. We saw that blood on it. So, so what we got for today, guys, we're gonna go over a bunch of updates and we're gonna talk about what's been going on at H1Z1. It's been a crazy week so far. Everybody's seen the news, the Twitters, but first, couple interesting facts here. I managed last night, and I don't know how we did it. I was in a team BR, and my partner had this great idea. Hey, let's do an ISIS. He called it an ISIS roll, and he said, he said we're gonna drive around in a fucking Jeep and I'm gonna spray and pray people out the window. So we were doing it. We killed like 10 people in a row as he just rolled by, and I got to the left, and he sprayed out the window. And then we managed to kill 2 guys. They died in the Jeep, and they wedged us next to a rail and blew up the car. So that was
awesome.
Yeah, and we were like top 10 at that point. It was really it was like the pissed off moments. And then Laz is coming out. As you know, we have the Love Beard, gingerlovebeard.com. Guys, go check it out. 140 hits so far. It's getting up there. We might have a giveaway at 500 hits. Laz is also coming out with a how-to guide on how to set up green screens, and it's called Green Screens for the Modern Day Idiot. So expect that coming out on your YouTube channel soon, guys.
We're gonna get some makeup tips. Are we getting?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, you had to bring it up, the makeup tips.
Oh, absolutely.
I was hoping we'd make it through all of today without it coming up, but appreciate that, Alex.
Yeah,
Maybe I should get some makeup. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, what shade? You know, I'm not even really quite sure what shade you
Actually,
use.
if you go to the Mac, your Mac dealer in like your local mall, or whatever, they will actually do your shade matching and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's I went there, and the chick showed me how to put it on and make sure it was the right shade for my skin. And it was pretty easy. Took a couple, like an hour to do, or two, like an hour of research before I went, and then I called my brother. I called my brother on the phone, which my brother's gay, and I was like, "Hey, I need some makeup for video recording." And he's like, "Oh, we'll go to the Mac store, and they'll show you how to put it on the shit." And I was like, "Ah, awesome, thanks, buddy."
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a little. Oh man.
Video.
Moving on.
Guys, if you haven't noticed, it is the first Saturday that I have seen Mr. Mittani without a red shirt. Guys, I told you last week this was a big issue in China. Apparently, Kato Kinji is flying out next month to solve the red dye issue out in China because they are just not intelligent enough to do so. So he will be out there later next month so that hopefully Alex can get into a red shirt next week. Or maybe it's just laundry day.
Well, I mean, I had to explain this. I had to explain this on the Meta Show as well, because the moment that people saw me and they noticed that I wasn't wearing one of my shades of red, there was a little bit of confusion. But you know, I don't just have red shirts. I have crimson and maroon and burgundy, and there's a lot of
all I hear is red.
Carnelian.
Red.
A lot of nuance there. Exactly.
Oh.
And
Ruby.
unfortunately, they were all Ruby. I need to upgrade.
Well, and the Mittani, I'm gonna let you finish talking about your really, really gay colors.
Wow.
We're talking about gay colors, but like
Whoa.
It's coming from the
you know what,
makeup guy. Coming from the makeup guy. But I was just informed by
makeup guy.
by Darius Johnson. Just informed by Darius Johnson that today is Cyan Kumimimi Tomo. However
Yes.
the fuck to say his name. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Come on,
Happy
come on.
birthday, Cyan.
Everybody-
Hey guys,
everybody-
today's Spanks' birthday too.
It's
Dude.
my birthday today too.
Oh wow.
Oh my!
So everyone, make sure
Happy
you
birthday.
send
I
messages.
mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you, Spanks. Happy birthday to Sion.
Yes.
Make sure you,
Yes,
you
guys.
spam them with messages, you guys. Spam them all
Guys,
with messages.
Yep.
July 11th.
Yep.
What do you know?
Guys, put some beard licks. Put some beard licks in the chat for those two very generous fellows. Let's see here. And Spanks is producing an H1Z1 underwear design. The brand is called Spank You.
Absolutely. You know, the post-apocalyptic world, guys, survival is tough. You know, you need high-performance, moisture-wicking fabric. You know, you're going to go days without getting a shower. You know,
You don't want to get
line,
that rash
Spank
between your
You.
thighs?
Yeah, you don't want to get the chafing going on. My brand Spank You is designed specifically for the post-apocalyptic world. High-performance, moisture-wicking fabric. Keep you
What
Nice.
kind
dry.
of colors does it come in? Because I know that there's lots of, bright
He's
neon
particularly
green
fond
of
red.
H1Z1 with the boots
Yep.
recently, but is there red? Because that's really what matters.
Yeah, you know, we're rolling out with some different camouflage. We got digital, we got woodland, we got
Nice.
even coming out,
Nice.
you know, bear fur brown. We're gonna have wolf gray,
Very awesome.
little dirty deeds green.
And guys, if you don't know, Spanks is like a 6'6", like Yeti.
Monster.
So, you know, we will have these in the big and tall stores in your local Cranberry and Pleasant Valley stores coming soon. So look out for those guys. All right, guys. So let's get into the latest updates. This has been a pretty interesting week in a long time for H1Z1. Specifically, and we're going to bring this up once and only once. The DDoS attacks. Everybody heard about them. Anybody who played H1Z1, obviously, we're having issues Thursday and Friday getting in, apparently. So, you know, specifically, Alex, being around the industry so long and knowing a lot of people within the industry
Are you
that
saying
make
I'm
games.
old? That sounds like you're saying it.
Wow.
It's gonna be my birthday next
Wow.
week, so I'm concerned now. We've been around the industry a long time. Okay?
He's like a female. He's very very very
Sensitive
emotional.
about
Yeah,
his
sensitive
age
about
and
his
his makeup.
I feel less secure because Laz is wearing makeup. I'm not wearing a red shirt, and now you're saying I'm old, and I don't know. So,
For the
But
record, I'm
what
not wearing
specifically, what specific effects do the DDoS attacks? And this isn't the only game. Obviously, there's been other games and other platforms that have been affected by this. You know, what kind of problems do these cause for the companies?
well, I mean, it's awful for everyone involved. I mean, it takes the entire platform down. A lot of times there's collateral damage because a DDoS attack will hit. Especially if it's targeting an ISP, it won't necessarily merely take down like the Daybreak servers, but pretty much anything that is near their architecture can get plastered as well. This started as a outbreak and incident after there was a conviction of a hacker, and then there was some scuffle, I guess you'd say, between Daybreak Games and that guy on Twitter, and then everything went to hell in a handbasket. Thankfully, that appears to be mostly over with now. Things have been clearing up, but there was a massive, the kind of traffic that a botnet can send in a DDoS attack against people in this day and age is really quite impressive. And you can have a DDoS shield at an architect and enterprise level to try to guard against it, but when the entire internet has slaved bots just pumping stuff at your servers, there's only so much you can do, and it's a mess.
No, it really sucks because I mean it happened right after the wipe on Tuesday, which means
Right.
all these people hoping to go into the weekend and get in and get their bases built up right before the weekend starts and the influx of people for a weekend weren't able to play because of the DDoS, and that's kind of sad for them. Missed out on some base building and are gonna have to try and do it now where there's a lot more people to shoot at them.
Well, the thing about it is that the patch is actually, like, in the past, this was the patch that was sort of delayed, the wipe was delayed until this week, and it seemed extremely stable to me compared to some of the other situations when they've done a wipe. The new fog effects, everything we're seeing in the game is just great, and I'm glad that the sort of server stability issue seems to be clearing up at last.
And that kind of goes into the next segue. Specifically with Spanks. Spanks is really involved, and guys, if you don't know who Spanks is extremely involved now within our PvP servers, and he helps organize with a couple other gentlemen to organize and just do the day-to-day operations on the PvP servers. So, Spanks, if you can kind of tell us, have you seen an increase in players, not only in our group, but within the server base, and the theory behind wipes in general for gaming and how it's been handled here in H1Z1?
It's actually a great conversation because we were having it yesterday in comms. we were talking about it in comms. So there's two questions there. You've got the increase of players, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it with every time you log in. It doesn't matter what time zone you're logging into. The Abomination server's got that high pop. So there's a lot of popularity around being on that server. And then with point to your second question there, we day to day we're working on building up our base and just gathering the resources of the land and building and taking any PvP that comes at us. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been challenging. It's and it's a group effort. A lot of communication going on.
Alex, you keep typing, I'm strangling you.
Oh, sorry.
Mumble can get pretty chaotic at times. It can be tough to coordinate the information, but it's been a lot of fun. So
yeah, and recently, like 30 minutes ago, there was dialogue happening within the servers about creating alliances and struggles between new groups coming into play with the PvP and the goons, and just I'm imagining basic struggles and problems that have happened in EVE at one point. And Alex, can you explain kind of the alliance forming and how that all evolved through EVE and what we might see as challenges in H1Z1 with that structure?
Well, I mean, talking about wipes and how we handle our strategy for that, it's always a learning process. You never know what sort of ground you're going to get involved in, what sort of challenges you're going to face. It'll be either a bug here or a DDoS there, or just realizing that the guys who think that they're good at playing first-person shooters aren't. So what we ended up doing is you have a wipe, we go in, we keep trying to adapt and change our strategy, and every game has things that are slightly different. Some of the structures you can copy and paste from EVE into H1Z1, but it's been really interesting to have to adapt to sort of like have a guard rotation system. We've found that there are weapons and methods that we can use in H1Z1 that have no application whatsoever in EVE. So actually one of the reasons why Spanks is so well known in our community is that he literally uses his voice in the proximity chat, which is something that doesn't exist in EVE. He uses his voice, and this like from a psychology and metagame perspective, this fascinates me. Spanks uses his voice as a weapon. When there is a hostile, and I have to, like, this is not, I did rewatch Dune the other day. So it's not like his voice is like, Spanks, and then everything dies. But when we were going into territories and setting up bases before we had refined our strategy, we now have like a strike team system where we have a core group of specialists with pre-planned base designs and things have gotten a lot more complicated and interesting. Like Space Mexican is saying, back in the early days of EVE, you just run in there and fool around and make stuff up as you go along. Mm-hmm. And each iteration of these wipes, which I think every couple months, every quarter is a good pace. Hopefully the wipe schedule will slow down. We get to implement new strategies. So the story about Spanks and how this comes up and why it's fascinating, we are going into Pleasant Valley and we're setting up one of our earlier bases. This was on a previous wipe.
Yes.
And it was raw chaos, right? Because there was people bum rushing the server and we just had too many people all at once, not appropriately managed. And at first, we were getting killed like crazy because people would see this disorganized mass of Imperium players and kill us. And then pretty rapidly after that, Spanks came online and proceeded to take up a position. And whenever anybody would call it a hostile, he would aggressively like just start barking orders. And we called it cop voice. But what would be amazing is like there's a particular tone of authority that you can use, like the way that he projects his voice. He shouts at people. And he sounds like a military guy because he is, or he sounds like a cop, who are usually mostly former military guys or veterans. And it just totally freezes them. So this is do it, Spanks. If you could go 2 years, this is like hold your ears, guys. Be careful because it's going to be time to obey. Spanks, if you will please warn somebody off.
Stop! Imperium Special Forces F2, put your hands up! Put your hands up!
It ruins the effect a little now that I can see your face. Like now that
it does, yeah. Because if that video image came up to me in the game, I would just shoot you in the head. I was like,
yeah, right in my face yeah.
You're like the Sour Patch commercial, dude. You're like sour and sweet at the same time.
He just but it's interesting because like you can use like verbal, you can use tones of voice, you can use words as a weapon, and so. That's why you start organizing, you start adapting, you take these best practices, and then you go, oh, we can shout at people to make them pause for half a second and kill them. And a lot of times in a game like H1Z1 or any other FPS, that's all you need to be able to freeze somebody in the tracks. Like, oh god. If I remember, Space Mexican, at one point, didn't you start using cop cars to literally pull people over? Like, you get behind them and set off the sirens, and they'd pause and start pulling over, and then you kill them.
Yep. Yeah, and I would actually tell people, I'm recording a video. Pull over. You're going to be part of it.
Right, you're going to be part of the killing.
I left that part out.
I can't tell you how many times, we've just been dinking around the game, and we're just running up to people like, freeze! And they do. And then we pop them in the head, and we're like, see, it's easier to kill you when you stop moving. And everyone in proximity just blows up laughing. It's just so funny. People do. They freeze. They literally just stop.
Well, they're trained. There's that voice that instructors or people in military training or police use, and it's that voice of "you've screwed up and I caught you," like teacher voice or cop voice.
Those are the mentalities of the gamers.
Yeah, all that takes is the half second of "oh god, I'm in trouble." Oh wait, now you're dead, and that's just.
Hilarious. It's all those 19, 18-year-old fuck ups right now that always got in trouble, and you come by and you're just like, freeze! Oh fuck! What'd I do?
Freeze! Yeah, no, it's excellent.
Was there another question on the table here about the importance of wipes and why that's important, or did we not kind of get into that yet? Or?
Yeah, it was actually around really. There's obviously been a lot of wipes for this game, and some people hate them, some people love them. I personally love them because I know it's an alpha, except it's an alpha, and there's going to be a lot of changes. And when there's a wipe, that tells me something big is happening. Obviously, there's multiple updates between the wipes. So, me personally, I see an increase of players. On the other side, when the wipe's announced, I see a decrease in players. What do you guys?
When people know that a wipe is going to be coming, especially depending on how long it's been announced in advance, people will usually hold their resources and wait. They'll go well, okay, this doesn't matter, it's getting wiped away. I think that it would be helpful to have a fixed wipe schedule. That's not necessarily possible, but there have been hints that they want to sort of slow the pace of things down. I think once a month is too fast. I know that a game like Shroud of the Avatar intends to typically have only a once a quarter wipe.
Yes.
It's a persistent sandbox. H1Z1, Eve, and Shroud of the Avatar, all of these games have sort of the same problems. And for people who are not focusing on battle royales, if you really want to build bases and build a little society and have a post-apocalyptic nation state, my gut feeling is once a quarter would be the most ideal. But they're development realities. Maybe every 2 months. I don't know.
Yeah, probably between a month and 2 months is probably
every 60 days. I think that would probably be nice because you want to have enough major updates in the game and enough quality of life patches. And if it's if it's a full once a quarter, then that's a little too slow. I think 2 months have a lot of big features added. That would be great.
Well, and to that point, guys, I want to let everybody know we are having our once a month marathon August 1st, I think, or Saturday, and we might have one of the devs there, so maybe Alex can take that opportunity to
Blow
talk
them?
to
I mean,
them
what?
about that.
Nice.
Oh, it must be
Let's
going
see.
for something different. So that's August 1st? I mean, what's going on August 1st?
It's your surprise party.
A surprise party. Oh.
Yeah. No, it's so normally we have our monthly Saturday streaming event. We didn't have one this month. The next one is August 1st, which is a Saturday. So that's our
Excellent.
marathon where we have Laz like glued to his chair streaming for like 11 hours, and then I go and flash codes all over the place, and you guys will have the opportunity to do that. So mark that on your calendar if you're going to try to get free codes. Well, one more topic, guys. I know we talked about the TAM military backpack, and the only reason why I brought it up, which isn't when I typed it up, I was like, well, fucked. It's a backpack. It's not that big of a talking point. The only reason why I did is because I realized that I spent 3 hours with the frickin' satchel, and I was irritated because I had to run so many times back to the base and the shack. Mm-hmm. And then when I got one, I totally forgot it was 2000 Space, and I loaded up with so much crap. Have you seen anything, Spanks, specifically with the backpacks and the increase, and has that changed any dynamics whatsoever with the game?
I can tell you they're not spawning at DD. we got to go get them. We're having guys make solo runs up to the dam or make runs up to PV to get them. But they're nice. They're nice if you can get your grubby little hands on them. There is a gypsy camp nearby, so we're able to get the standard backpacks, or you can build your own with your piece of twine. But they're a hot commodity. I hope once the military checkpoints start to spawn loots at the white tables, that the military backpack and the Kevlar armor will be one of the various things that you'll be able to get.
Hopefully some of the higher grade ammo will drop there as well.
Yeah.
Well,
And one of the things, I think it's great to have larger container spaces in general, because if you have bigger containers across the player base, it inspires more people to build. Like, this is one of the things that people miss out on in Battle Royale, is the opportunity to really get nitty gritty. Like, we have guys who are using SketchUp to design and plan our Imperial outposts, and they get really impressive stuff about that. And the building and the mechanics of H1Z1 are fascinating, but stuff takes up a lot of space, right? The other thing about having more common high-capacity backpacks is that it lulls people into a false sense of security. They don't realize how big their backpack is, and so kind of like an EVE, where you shouldn't be flying what you can't afford to lose,
right.
If more H1Z1 players have these big, fat backpacks, they're full of loot, and then when you kill them, murder them, you can take all the more stuff. So I think that the TAN military backpacks showing up in a military checkpoint, because those are distributed all over the map and fairly easy to get to areas, will create a lot of little hotspots, and I do hope that they turn up there. It seems like a logical spawn point, and I do hope to see more of that.
They're definitely a hot item in the game. You see one of those and everyone just goes crazy for them. Same with the Kevlar helmets. Same with the body armor. They're high value items. Everyone wants them.
The body armor is still only spawning in the PV police station. Is that correct? Or
No, it's Dam PV police
Dam.
station. I mean,
Dam has it now. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Basically, those big lockers is kind of what you're looking for.
Yep.
And there is nothing at those military sites right now, which is so irritating.
No.
Well, there is one weapons locker that spawns 2 laminated vests, and then I found a table in the military base, Camp Bastion, that had 3 grenades on it right when the server was wiped. I haven't checked it since.
Gotcha.
But so
Nice.
once those are seeded, those are probably going to be really big PvP zones for Camp Bastion.
Cool.
One of the opportunities. Oh, sorry, just one last bit on this. One of the opportunities that we have in the Imperium that it's really nice that Daybreak gave us is we do have our own whitelisted server, Tranquility. So one of the things that we always get a chance to do whenever there is a wipe or something like that, or when they change a spawn, is we're able to get onto our private whitelisted server and take a look around and go, oh, hey, this spawns when the server boots. This is here, this is here, this is here. And that's one of the reasons why our guys, our base builders, our command structure is able to take that stuff, find it out, incorporate it into our strategy, and then have a new, fresh go at things every wipe.
Yeah, well, and continue with the backpacks, one of the big things with increased size is you can now swap a primary weapon from your backpack, or from your inventory into your backpack, which allow you to equip grenades, or if you need to get like meat or fat off of animal, you can swap out a weapon and put a knife in there to be able to glean that meat or fat. Also, I think one of the downsides to this backpack issue is the worn leather backpack, the previous 2,000 size backpack that you had to get the worn leather for out of the caches.
The quest
one.
one.
It's now less valuable, and that was the big reason you ran the worn letters, was for that giant backpack. I mean, it gives you just some ammo and guns, but that's not as important as that backpack. So now they're going to need to do something to make that pack more valuable.
To make the quest,
right.
or, you know, if not that pack necessarily, they could just add more weapons or make the word letter quest more valuable, not specifically because of the backpack. Like, it doesn't always have to be a bigger, better backpack. It could be a huge cache of explosive arrows.
I mean, just if it was a 3,000 backpack or a 4,000 backpack, I mean, but I agree. I think it has taken away in a negative effect from it. It's taken away value of the worn letters, because you go 20 rounds of shotguns, 24 rounds of 223. You know, that's typically the ammo you're getting, and it's like, do I want to go all the way from the corner of the map to the dam and probably die for 24 rounds of shotgun?
Yeah, it's extremely risky in that case. I mean, if you're doing an organized group, how many? I mean, you know, we have in our territory, Spanks. How often have you seen people like hostiles coming in trying to run that worn letter quest?
Yeah, you know, I'm on quite a bit, and since the wipe, one, and it was last night actually. It was last night.
That's the only time since the wipe. Yeah, and I noticed that too. Like, there's this whole thing, and people aren't really making the trek. But I don't know. It's just interesting because it does seem like holding off the patch was a wise move, and you know, the game with the fog, all of these military checkpoints, all of these updates, it's just a lot more interesting now. I think I like it a lot. It's a shame that a lot of people can't currently get into it, but again, hopefully we'll have that clear up server-wise.
Well, and that's one of the things the game is lacking right now is, why should I leave my base to go certain places? Is they need more, kind of like EVE. They need more reasons for people to go places.
Yep.
Well, I think from a certain perspective, murder is a good enough reason. I mean, one of the things, like, so, I mean, you know, it is the case. Like, in EVE, we have alliances that have very stable territories that are not usually under attack, and people go out on roams and go searching around. If you have a intelligent organization and base design, one of the advantages that we've been able to do, it requires a little bit more effort, but you take over an area that has consistent, reliable vehicle spawns, which is kind of what we've got. We've got more cars than we know what to do with. Yep. And then once you have that kind of garage, if you're currently bored from just gathering or crafting or doing whatever, you can get your boys together and what was it, the people, what you were saying, Space Mexican, like they called it like an ISIS Jeep or pulling an ISIS trailer. I think we call them technicals.
And ISIS is an okay term to use here because ISIS lives in EVE. So, am I wrong?
What?
Isn't ISIS the map showing the layout of all the ships? The ISIS?
Oh!
The ISIS, the Interstellar.
Somebody has recently started, like, that's right, because that's a new...
I logged in last night, and my queue was like 2 hours down, and I queued it up for like 100 days.
No, that's actually, you made an EVE reference.
I had no idea what he was talking about.
And I'm like,
I'm supposed to be the EVE expert here, and like, huh?
And thus they see me absolutely no connection to EVE. Okay, moving on. Well, guys, we have our H1Z1 key giveaway. We do have two on the show. One's later on. We're going to do one right now, guys. So Laz is going to set that up and start typing in chat. You must be a follower of the Twitch page. And then right now we're going to go into our questionnaire segue. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it up to any of the panels up here. And we'll do our best to pick a couple or one and answer. Also, if you guys are either, if you're a small group, large group, and you guys want to play with our people and come enjoy the game, you can go to the Mittani.com website, and on the top right corner, there is a Mumble symbol. That's our chat system. Get into that. You have to create a free account on the Mittani.com. Also, there are Mittani, Metagame, Henley, T, and... Hey, Spanks, can you throw up the blade? Can you throw up the blade?
Oh, God.
The Mittani katana.
Yeah, it's not a katana. Oh my gosh, it is a machete.
I mean, that's the nickname we've given it.
That's the nickname you've given it. You're trying to make that like a thing, and it's not going to work. I'm telling you. But there is a machete skin and a UN helmet skin, guys. So you can go get that. It's a free code. Just go to the website. Once again, guys, feel free to get us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And Laz, are you ready to go, or Alex, would you like to say anything to the wonderful viewage out there.
Do I want to say anything? I want to say all sorts of things. Half the challenge here usually is to get me to shut the fuck up. I don't know. I don't know what Twitch channel you're talking about.
That's the hardest part of my day.
Hey, there's a schedule, and I'm just going to talk about things. I will say if we are.
Talk about your headset. I noticed you got a brand new fucking headset.
Oh, you didn't notice my subtle.
Oh my god.
What happened to the other $20 pair? I personally was a fan of your previous pair myself.
Well, these ones actually look a hell of a lot
light up.
Sound. Well, they sound a lot better. Again, like with the Meta Show, we wanted to call out the support that Razer has been giving us. Obviously, I'm rocking these new headphones that came from Razer. A lot of the things that we've been giving away over the history of these shows, things like the Naboo X's, and just in general making it rain for the boys. It's really good to see that giving us sort of a chance to give back to our community. And we thank you to both Daybreak and to, because we're giving away H1Z1 keys.
Right.
Thank you, Daybreak. And thank you, Razer, for letting me no longer have like a crappy $20 pair of things. I was worried actually because I was like, well, I was talking to the guys about it. I'm like, well, guys, I've got like this cool like Razer headset, but it's just gonna look black. Like nobody's gonna actually realize that it's a Razer headset. So I don't really know. Like maybe we should put like a green sticker on it, or I don't really know. And then I actually get it in, and I'm like, oh, huh. Let's
so guys,
a little bit more obvious.
Make sure you type in, guys. Please type in chat. Follow the stream. If you're not following the stream, you cannot win, guys. If you do win, you need to message the Twitch channel, themittani.com, with your username. I guess not username. With your what you won, rather. And sorry,
I want a car.
Yeah, that Ferrari in your driveway. No.
And if you guys do not receive your key, please message me on Twitch, and I will send you Laz's real life information and his cell phone number. Okay.
And then you could go like lick his beard and totally not creepy.
That's a better prize.
I don't know.
That's a better prize than H1Z1 keys. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you forgot, but in Eve Vegas, I will be going around hustling beard licks, dude.
All right. As long as I get a cut.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder how much we could sell it for. Whether there would be a line, and whether I'm more scared of the idea of you not being able to sell them, or the idea of you actually being able to sell them and people paying money to lick Laz's beard.
I'm worried of any STDs I might contract.
Those bachelorette parties be going crazy for you, Laz.
That's true. He'll wear makeup. If he wears makeup, it'll help.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay, while you roll the key giveaway, Laz, we have one question from the Anti-Pope. Wow, the Anti-Pope. Hey, Laz, gonna make a video of those dudes chasing you in a Jeep getting bombed from Wednesday.
Yes.
What are they talking about?
All right. So when I was streaming H1Z1 Battle Royale Wednesday, I think I streamed for like 6 hours Wednesday, and I was in a Battle Royale, and I was running away. Like, I was running away from this Jeep. They had 4 people inside this Jeep, and as I was going over this hill, they were shooting at me. I was bleeding, and I came rocketing over a hill, jumping, and as they hit the hill behind me, the plane, the anti-teamer plane, came in and just nuked them. And,
you know what? I think I tuned in right when that happened.
You were watching because right before the meeting. And so as my Jeep landed on the road, the wreckage of their Jeep came flying over me because it died to the bombs, and all four of the people inside the Jeep died. It was pretty slick.
It was an epic random noob. It was an epic GTA moment. I would agree. I remember seeing it. So who is our lucky winner?
Well, I just did the roll, and random noob 1 2 3 4 just actually won as well.
Random noob.
Random noob 1 2 3 4. Oh, congratulations, man!
Congratulations.
Congratulations, random noob.
Yeah.
Now you have to. Never mind. Okay.
There are things that you must do right now.
Shut up, Space Mexican. Okay. So getting into the rest of our show, guys, let's see. We have, and we kind of touched on this right before the giveaway, was military checkpoints. They've added them. I visited probably, 3 of them so far. There is no loot there. They have sent out a tweet saying that they do know there's no loot. It will be updated here shortly. Hopefully that means next week. But I've noticed in gaming terms, there's a lot of, we will get to it soon. It will happen very, very soon, but they don't really give timelines on that. So hopefully it's next week.
I mean, timelines are a tough thing. I think that this is a chance to highlight the challenge that we have in an early access title. When you give a hard timeline and you miss it because something comes up. Like software development is difficult because it's very hard to estimate the length of time certain bugs are going to take to solve because you fundamentally don't know what the bugs are until they blow up in your face. So, you know.
Well, and apparently they've never met Kato Kenji because that man is the master of give me a time on a watch calendar or something else.
Was that a subtle hint that there's a schedule?
Probably.
Okay.
But Spanks, have you visited most of these, or have you seen any of them? I haven't seen Camp Bastion myself, but I've been to the checkpoints.
Been to the 2 checkpoints, the one west of Hemingway's and the one south of Dirty Deeds, and 2 guard towers. If you're interested in what those gray squares are called, those are called HESCO barriers. We use those in Iraq. You fill them with dirt, and they provide, cover from explosions and IEDs and artillery.
Oh, okay.
Bullets flying through. So those are HESCO barriers, which would be a great mechanic if we're able to use those and build with those.
That would be interesting.
The HESCO barriers would be pretty cool. I don't know. You need some metal, some cloth, and somehow to scoop dirt into it. Mechanic.
Maybe some duct tape?
Maybe to patch it. Maybe it's mostly wire that holds in all that dirt. But yeah, I've been to those 2. I do see the white tables, so I know that loot's going on them. I have not checked out Camp Bastion yet. I do know we have a satellite base going up there, and I will be visiting it soon to check out what's going on up there. So
so whoever's in charge of that satellite base, you better have it fucking ready. Thanks for going to check it out.
I'm coming with my 308.
So go ahead, Laz.
No, I've been to the Camp Bastion. There's a lot of there's a ton of places to loot. There's I think 2. There's actually 4 or 5 barracks tents, which is nothing but bunk beds, and at the foot of each bunk bed has a locker or a storage container, so where you can check inside the storage container. And there's also lockers in some of the barracks as well. So there's a ton of loot spawn locations for the Camp Bastion. So once they fill that up, it's going to be interesting to see what the loot tables look like.
Do we know if you could build tamps in that area? If we want to
yes,
have.
You can.
Okay, and I wonder if they're going to change that in terms of if they add more loot there, they'll do what sort of they did with the dam situation when we took all that over and make it such that you can't build bases there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because having a base at the military at Camp Bastion would be the most logical thing to do from an organizational standpoint.
The issue you have putting a camp directly in the middle of Camp Bastion, there's a helipad location where I think you can get a tamp, and there's also another a vehicle area, a vehicle maintenance area that I think that you can put a tamp as well. The problem with that is if you have too many people close to loot spawns, is the loot won't respawn. So
I see. Right, you don't want to actually have your people right in the middle of it because then nobody will ever actually get any of the cool loot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Another disadvantage is if you were to have gotten overrun. And as you're trying to spawn back in, the enemy's going to take positions in the military's towers, and they're going to make it real hard for you to
as you come in. Right?
They're going to make it real hard for you to get back inside. Yeah, so if you get overrun, that could be a risk as well.
There's hills around Camp Bastion, and on the crest of each hill, there's actually military towers as well. So basically, you can put rounds down into the middle of any type of tamps that are in the middle of that base.
One of the things I'm curious about, just from a gameplay perspective, now that they've been added to the game, is now that our guys, normally we'll have a big outpost or several outpost bases, and then people will wander off to make their own little personal shacks just for resupply and respawns and things like that. In your experience, Spanks, Last and Space Mexican, have you guys seen our guys using, making personal sniper towers using the new checkpoint craftable?
Oops. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Spanks.
Yeah, I know. As a matter of fact, we've got, not only do we have, I call them battle positions or outposts, outside of the perimeter of our DD area of operation, but we do have some player-built structures as well. A couple of the guys chose to build down by the new military checkpoint, and another guy chose to build right in DD and literally has turned it into the Imperium condominiums. He's got 17 individual rooms that are all guarded by their own individual gate. So now if you're looking for the post-apocalyptic lifestyle change in a secure condominium, we've got that for you.
don't even know what to
Oh
say
my
about
god.
And that is courtesy of IPM Requiem. He built that structure. It's a tamp, or I'm sorry, it's a wood foundation with 4 extensions, and the entire outside of it is sheds, and then each shed then has its own door. It's like 4 gates of separation between you and getting to the goodies, and there's 17 rooms protected like that.
Wow.
So we've got some really ridiculous architectural going on with the player built structures, and then of course
there's going to be a gastropub, and then
a dance club, and
and then like an artist coffee shop, and
but as these structures go up, you also get the defensibility with the rooftop positions, and then Requiem did also have a couple of sniper towers up on his roof as well. So.
Do we have an important question in chat? Is what's the timeshare situation there? Like, what's the pitch? What's the amount you'd have to do to get a timeshare in one of these lovely post-apocalyptic condos?
Yeah, right now it's Requiem is kind of taking applications.
Alex, you know well as I do, dude. It's all about who you know. All right.
Exactly, it's true. You need to get that hookup to get in there first. The space is limited. The Imperium post-apocalyptic condo timeshare.
We're gonna start selling real estate. So rolling into the next topic, which is weather. Weather has been. We talked about it last week. Getting involved. Have you seen anything specifically in PvP? Because we know it's been in BR. We kind of talked about that last week. Now that it's in PvP, have you seen any type of things that have changed with tactics or any other things that are affected because of the rain, and specifically to Spanks?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I've been a big fan of doing land nav based off of just where I'm at on the map, and then using like the tower, using I know I'm like west of the road at Hemingway's. That fog came in, and we were doing a mission. We were on foot going to Hemingway's. We were west of the Lochner Highway, and I got lost because the fog was so thick that I thought I was heading towards Hemingway's, and it turns out I was heading the opposite direction, and it just blew me away. I was like, I even told my guys, I was like, whoa, hey, we got to slow down here. I got to get my bearings. Like I can't see but a half a click in front of me here. Like this is nuts. Like it really impacted.
You go, Spanks, half a click.
I'm gonna have to
go, buddy.
I'm gonna have to train myself on how to do land nav now when that fog comes in, because it disorients.
Well, and to that point, I think one of the hardest things that people struggle with, and I think it's with a lot of games like this, because I had this problem in Eve, was sense of direction, like which way is the map, and I experienced that in H1Z1 until I memorized it. Like my first month and a half was like, which way's north, which way's south, what the hell are you guys talking about? And I can see where weather now can be a factor for that too, even worse.
Absolutely.
Well, it's interesting because Aerith points out, Aerith is one of our also leadership types in our organization when it comes to H1Z1 as well as in Eve. And he points out that one of the side effects that hasn't really been explored of the weather effects in fog is that the night vision goggles, which a lot of people were sort of avoiding using in the first place just by changing their gamma settings so they could see all the time at night, the night vision goggles are particularly impacted in a negative way by the fog. Like when it's too foggy, your night vision goggles are basically useless.
The issue I have with the weather is if you set your stuff to low, then the weather doesn't really impact you. Like
if you say that again,
if you set your graphics the lower graphic settings you have, the less the weather actually impacts you. Like I typically, if I'm streaming, I'll run on medium just for stability reasons. And the fog and stuff it's a little hazy on your screen, but it's not that big of a deal because you can players still show up as black dots whenever they're at long range. So it's really easy to tell a character. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of things they need to work on where the people are not lowering their graphics purposely just so that they can have an advantage. I think.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Nobody we know.
No one would ever lower their
we are
graphics.
honorable sandbox games.
I am a night vision hoarder, dude. That's what I am. I am a night vision hoarder. Real quick, guys, I have confirmed the bears are a lot better. I killed one yesterday. It did stand up. It did charge me like it should have. And then it hit me. The wolves are still glitchy as hell. They're still like little, like like glitchy ticks that just like kind of pop around the screen. So hopefully they'll fix that. But it's not hard to kill a bear anymore. They just come right at you. They don't glitch out. He was actually hitting cars and like adjusting himself to get through it, and then he like came straight at me. So that was kind of cool. Laz, you don't have to be scared anymore.
I will always
Okay,
be
it's all
terrified
clear
of
out there.
bears.
I have kind of a bear phobia in general, so the fact that they're not like teleporting super monsters is nice.
Right.
We actually had a
Go ahead, Spanks.
We actually had a guy report a wolf. I mean, the wolf was clearly hacking, clearly no clipping. It was blatantly obvious.
I
Blatantly
can see that. Dear Daybreak, please see my video of this fucking hacker.
Wolf.
I am tired of this shit. And they open the video up and it's a wolf just glitching all over the place. That would make a dev's day, I swear.
I swear to God, it was Tino. If I had to put a name on it, was Tino. He goes, I just reported that wolf. He's hacking. I know it.
That is a Tino thing.
That is
It totally.
Right? So, guys, we are rolling into the end of the segue. We're going to do our next giveaway while we talk about our last topic. And Laz will set that up, guys, so make sure you type in chat for the H1Z1 key giveaway. And our last topic, we're going to incorporate both of it. Battle Royale, they have added the mute all button. It works wonderfully, not only for players, but for people who stream, because I know that's an issue, to be able to just a quick key mute all. Their first rollout was just Control M, and it only did the sound. The new update includes the voices as well, so that's awesome. I love it. And then two-man BR is up and running. They still have some issues with it, and only because obviously they generated Team Battle Royale because people were teaming in regular Battle Royale. I don't associate myself with those people, and I don't know those people.
You would never.
But-
You would certainly not use bombing and organization to.
No.
Yeah.
I don't support those people. Now I do support
Those
myself. But I did notice my first Team BR. There were teamers in Team BR. Like I was like, why are there 3 people? Like what the? Like, are you kidding me right now? And by the end of the stream, I was like, okay, who wants to do teaming in Team BR? So I know there were some things they're gonna add to try to eliminate this, but right now it is up and running. You can go enjoy it. The thing I love about it is if you die and your team is not dead yet, it's team based. So if your teammate gets first prize, you can still get first prize.
Oh, interesting.
So that's kind of cool. I don't know if you guys had a chance to play any Team BR, specifically Laz.
We should do some Team BRs later, Kenjutsu.
That sounds hilarious. Actually, I think we should have like a gauntlet of instead of like 2-man enter, 1-man leave Thunderdome. We should have Space Mexican and Laz sent on a mission into Team BR. You will go and you will go until you rack up 5 wins together. You will bond.
So I teamed up with I teamed up with Captain Johnny and Valstrith and another guy were teamed up. And we joined in, and Captain Johnny and our other guy died. So then I told Valstrith, I'm like, all right, dude, I guess we're fucking teams, so come over here. And I was just yelling at him the whole time because I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, yeah, me. I was like, dude, get it right now. It was all for stream purposes. It was fucking hilarious. Val's an awesome guy. He just takes everything, doesn't get irritated, so he's a cool guy.
Oh my God.
He's old school.
You do not want to meet him on the server. He carries around 12 shotgun rounds.
He does, dude.
He's tough as nails, and he will shoot you. He will push that left click button until you die.
And he's very quiet. He's very quiet, and you'll hear in comms like, "Puppy down, puppy down, another puppy." All right, go ahead, Laz. Go ahead and do the roll, man.
All right. So for the roll is Altaholic.
Ooh.
Altaholic, yeah.
Altaholic was saying that you're.
Altaholic.
He's addicted to alts.
Altaholic, yes, absolutely. It's a common problem with MMO players.
Yep.
All right, guys. We have the boat show coming up next, and it's the boat show.
The boat show.
Make sure.
I hate every single one of you.
Make sure you guys go to Mittani.com. Make sure you guys get the free H1Z1 skins. Get into Mumble, guys. Come play. Yes, thank you, Razor and Daybreak. Thank you so much, guys, and go watch the boat show.
Boat show. Thanks for coming on. I hate every single one of you.
We'll see you guys next Saturday, guys.